Hey everyone, what is going on? So we are battling a subscriber today, and he is going to have Lapras, Venomoth, Victreebel, Dragonair, Kingdra, and Blaziken, and my team will be Lapras, Dragonair, Shiftry, just trying out a different Razor Leaf user because we use Victreebel in like every video, and then we have Skuntank, Kingdra, and Charizard. So, this video is basically focusing on Charizard, and why Charizard is one of my favorite, if not my favorite starter Pokemon. Well, it is my favorite starter Pokemon. I love Charizard. It's one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. But for this cup alone, it's actually one of my favorite picks, and I really love using it. Obviously, we have more starter Pokemon to test out, but I love Charizard because it has Blast Burn and Dragon Claw. Now, first of all, Fire Spin will charge up Dragon Claw really fast, and you're going to be able to threaten Pokemon like the Dragon types, like Dragonair, Kingdra, Shelgon, because a lot of people, everybody's going to have that Dragonair, right? Everybody. And then a lot of people have the Kingdra, and then maybe even some people have the Shelgon. So you're going to face at the minimum one dragon, maybe two, you know, so people are going to have those dragon Pokemon, and Dragon Claw, Charizard does get to it fast, so if you're going to either take shields or do a lot of damage, possibly knock out one of their dragon types. It all depends, but it's definitely a good way to go. It charges up really fast, as I said. It also hits the grass types and like the bug types like Venomoth, so it's going to be super effective against those. But yeah, I love it. It's not really a dragon counter because it does take a lot of damage from Dragon Breath as well. But if you're successfully able to charge up energy and save up energy with Charizard and have enough to fire multiple Dragon Claws, you'll either run through their shields or knock the dragon out, and Charizard will get the job done, right? But either way, we do go ahead and win game 1, so it was a very, very good game. So we're going to go ahead and jump into game 2 and see what happens. We'll start commentating over these battles. So I do lead with Lapras, and he leads with Lapras, so it is a Lapras mirror match. Now, the thing that you really want to do in this mirror match is just get to Skull Bash as soon as possible, because if you get to Skull Bash first, whether or not they shield, like if they get to a Skull Bash, they're going to do less damage to you than you do to them, right? Because your defense is buffed, so you don't want to like charge up energy, you just want to go immediately. Or you could bluff with the Surf if you're really confident they're going to shield the Skull Bash. I do actually go ahead and bluff this turn because I'm like, well, he's probably at another Skull Bash, if not very close, probably already there, so I'm going to go ahead and use the Surf, expecting him to go for the Skull Bash. So I do think this is a Skull Bash, but I do decide to let Lapras go down. Now, why do I let Lapras go down? Because I want to bring in my Charizard and farm down this Lapras. So he is able to get to Surf, so I'm going to go ahead and shield that. Obviously, I have to shield it. And because Lapras is neutral to fire, we're just going to farm down Lapras. Before he gets to another Surf, he probably was almost there, if not there, you know. So now we have enough for multiple Dragon Claws, and we're going to see what comes in. He is going to bring in Dragonair, perfect. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Dragon Claw, expecting the shield. So even if he hasn't shielded, it does a lot of damage. So he does shield, we have another one. So we had two back-to-back. So we go for that Dragon Claw, and this is going to do a lot of damage. And guess what, guys? We're actually, because we charge up energy with that Lapras, we're actually able to go for a third one and knock out that Dragonair. So we do go ahead and knock out the Dragonair thanks to Charizard. He'll bring in Blaziken and knock out my Charizard. Totally fine. I bring in the Dragonair. It's smooth sailing from here because even if he got off like Blast Burn, we had a shield. So we're just going to go for this Aqua Tail. Blaziken is super squishy, so we're going to knock it out. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that Charizard is also taking a lot of damage from Dragon Breath, right? Of course it is. It doesn't resist Dragon Breath, and it's a squishy Pokemon. So Charizard's not invincible, but it is a really good pick, in my opinion, as your starter Pokemon. And as I said, we'll be testing out other starters as well. I do want to test out Blastoise. I want to test out Swampert. We haven't used yet. But anyway, my Shiftry has to get out of there. He does a lot of damage to me. I'm going to switch into my Dragonair. A little bit slow on the switch. That probably cost me. He's going to go for the Aqua Tail. I will take it. And then I actually go for an Aqua Tail of my own. I probably could have just fainted down that Dragonair, but I do decide to go for the Aqua Tail. He does decide to shield that one up. Actually, no, he doesn't. Excuse me. What am I talking about? He doesn't shield that. I meant to say he doesn't shield it. He does bring in the Lapras, and the Lapras will go for the Surf, which will knock out Dragonair. Actually, it won't. Excuse me. It looked like it did. So I'm going to bring in my Shiftry, and I am going to go for the Leaf Blade, expecting the shield at this point, right? Definitely expecting it because that would have knocked him out. If not, a Razor Leaf would have. So we come very close, but he's able to feint us. I do bring in my Charizard. and we do experience a little bit of lag. That's okay. It's just practice. I'm going to go ahead and shield the Surf because we cannot take it. My goal, again, is to charge down or charge up and then feint him down, but unfortunately, I don't have as much health as I did before, and he does have a shield left, so that's a little bit unfortunate. So obviously this Dragon Claw is going to take the shield, of course, but look how much we're still taking from Dragon Breath. So I do get another Dragon Claw off, and it will do a good amount of damage, but unfortunately he's actually going to be able to feint us before we're able to get to another Dragon Claw. So if I was able to charge up more energy on that Lapras, we would have won that if we could have gotten off another Dragon Claw, but that's okay. We do go ahead and take that that L, excuse me. So next game I lead with Skunk Tank, he leads with Dragonair. Look how much damage we're taking from that Dragonair, absolutely insane. Dragons are still OP. They really are, they're so crazy good in this cup, so... Anyway, I do get off the Crunch, and he will opt to shield that one up. That's totally fine. I do decide to switch into my own Dragonair. He gets off a Return or an Aqua Tail, so let's see what it is. It is going to be a Return. I do take it, and then we're just going to knock out Dragonair, but we're very, very low, hoping to get to like a Return before I'm knocked out. But we'll see if we're able to. So we do get to that Return. I thought that maybe a Lapras would be coming in, so I didn't want to go for an Aqua Tail. So I do go for a Return. Doesn't do a lot, but it's okay. It's okay. So, yeah, not really in a great situation because, you know, I have to keep in mind that he still has one shield left, and he, you know, Lapras gets to Surf really fast, right? So we're going to have to shield this one up. And I knew a Blast Burn would knock him out, but again, he has a shield, and it's just not a good situation for me. I'm going to have to shield the Surf. I cannot take it. Charizard cannot take a Surf. So we charge up a little bit. Maybe I should have charged up a little bit more. And I go for the Dragon Claw, expecting a shield. He actually decides not to shield. I was actually very surprised about that. So we feint him down, and then he brings in Kingdra, and he's just able to... Well, we do get off the Dragon Claw. He's going to shield this one up. He could have survived it anyway, so shielding or not doesn't really matter. He does go ahead and feint down my Charizard. So he does go ahead and win that one. Both came down to Charizard and Kingdra, and being up a shield, he's able to win that. So that was a very good game. So for the next one, it is a Dragonair mirror match. And I know I have a good ranked Dragonair. I've mentioned it multiple times already, so pretty confident that I generally win. But I do go for the Return, hoping to take a shield. He actually decides not to shield, and then it doesn't feint him. So he does go for a charge move. Now I knew I would be able to survive it since he survived, and we're able to knock him out. And with literally one, is that 2 HP? I think it's 1, but it's very little. Very little. So he brings in Lapras and just knocks me out with an Ice Shard. I'm going to bring in Lapras of my own, so we're in a mirror match, although he is up an Ice Shard because he was able to knock me out with his Lapras against my Dragonair, so he is up, right? He does go for the Surf, and he catches me there, so wow, really nice bait on his end, so really well played. Not looking good for me. I do go for the Skull Bash, so we do increase my defense. I was actually expecting a shield, but I guess he decided not to. Maybe he was expecting a bait since he baited, so not a bad play. We're just going to continue to charge up, and I do go for the Surf. I want to catch those shields, guys, so I try to catch it. We do get one, so at least we get one, right? And we go for another Surf, so I wasn't expecting a shield at this point in time because it's too early for a Skull Bash, but he does decide to Surf. And I do let this one go through. It is going to be a Skull Bash, so that will knock out my Lapras. And then I bring in Charizard, and now basically all I have to do is just farm down this Lapras. Now keep in mind, he is neutral, right? He is part Ice, as I mentioned, so he is neutral. We're able to farm down Lapras. And because he's out of shields, he's going to bring in Kingdra, but the same thing is not going to happen as the last two games. We're not going to allow it to happen. Not this time. We're going to get off the Dragon Claw, and we actually have another Dragon Claw. Look at this. I'm clicking on it, but it's not going through. I'm glitching. I'm like, wow, I'm actually going to lose because I cannot click on this Dragon Claw to save my life. I can't. I don't know what's going on. It's a glitch. Trying to get to that Dragon Claw, and I don't know what happened. You know, he said another shield came up for him, and he was able to use like a third shield or something, so he didn't take damage. But we actually get to another Dragon Claw, so we, you know, wow, that's crazy though. That's crazy. So good game. We're able to win. It was closer than would have been. We should have gotten off that other Dragon Club. That's okay. It's not a big deal. We still won it. But anyway, for the next match, again, a Lapras Mirror match. It's going to be super common in the Mirror. I almost said Mirror Cup. In the Timeless Cup, we're going to see this. And I'm just going for the Skull Bash. We do get it before he does, so that's definitely good for us. We're going to go ahead and go for the Skull Bash, and he's going to go for his move, which I assume is a Skull Bash. But we're going to take reduced damage because our defense is buffed. So you definitely want to get off that Skull Bash before your opponent can if you're in the mirror match. No doubt about it. Because you don't want to take less damage when they go for Skull Bash, right? Or when you go for Skull Bash, you don't want them to take less damage. I'm going to go for another Skull Bash, just trying to knock out this Lapras. And he does decide to shield. Totally fine. Our defense goes up again. And right now, I'm just going for the Surf. I guess he's either going for a Skull Bash or just charging up. But we do go for the Surf. Not going to do much. Of course, because his defense is increased and he resists Surf. So he's going to go ahead and get off that Skull Bash and knock me out. Totally fine. I actually don't have Charizard with me in this game, but we'll bring in Kingdra and knock out his Lapras. And now we're waiting to see what decides to come in. It is going to be a Dragonair, so I'm fine with that. We're just trying to get to the Outrage so we could force a shield, right? I do decide to shield this one, and we actually do get to the Outrage, so I'm going to go ahead and go for it right now. And that will knock out the Dragonair. He does not shield. He brings in Dragonair. I actually tried to switch, but I was not able to. So that's totally fine. I do bring in my Dragonair, and I'm like, oh, can I feint him down first? There's no point in going for charge moves. Because he went for that charge move, I'm definitely guaranteed to feint him down first now. If he didn't, if he just tried to feint me down, it could have been a tie. He could have won. I don't know, but that's going to be it for this one, guys. See you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye.